Already we discussed the Euclidean theorem and division algorithm also. Here they ask find the GCD of 42,823 and 6,409, right? Generally, to find out the least common multiple LCM and greatest common divisor GCD, in lower classes we use the prime factorization method. After finding its prime factorization, then we write LCM of any two numbers or GCD of any two numbers, right? Here we need to find out GCD of 42,823. To find out the prime factorization of a very large number, it is difficult, right? So that here we use the technique of division algorithm, right? And also the Euclidean theorem. Now first we see the GCD of 42,823 and 6,409. How can we calculate what is the division algorithm? Division algorithm is for any two integers a comma b and a greater than b, then there exist unique integers q comma r such that a is equal to bq plus r, where q is the quotient and r is the remainder, right? What is the Euclidean lemma or Euclidean algorithm? Here also we consider the two integers a and b, right? Two integers a and b, where a greater than b. Then if we divide b by a, we get r1 is the remainder. After that, we divide the divisor with the remainder r1, we get the remainder r2. We proceed like that. The last non-zero remainder gives us the GCD of those two numbers, right? Here also we use the same technique. Between these two numbers, the smallest integer is 6,409. So take this 6,409 as a divisor. 42,823 is the dividend. How many times? 6 times. 6 9s are 54. 6 4s are 24, 2. 6 6s are 36, 2. 38. Then 13 minus 4, 9. 11 minus 5, 6. 7 minus 4, 3. Right? 12 minus 8. So we get the remainder 4,609. Now divide the previous divisor 6,409 using this 4,369. This is the same thing we done in the Euclidean algorithm, right? Every time we are dividing the previous divisor by its remainder. So how many times? One time. 9 minus 9, 0. 10 minus 6, 4. Right? 3 minus 3, 0. 6 minus 4, 2. Now, divide the previous divisor 4,369 using the remainder 2,040. How many times? 2 times. We get 4,080. What is the remainder? 9 minus 0, 9. 16 minus 8, 8. 2, right? 289. Now divide previous divisor 2040 using this remainder 289. How many times? 9 times, right? 9 2s are 1800. 9 8s are, so it is 720. No, it is 8 times. 64, 640 plus 1600, 7 times. 7 9s are 63, right? 6, 56, 6, 62, 7 2s are 1 minute. 9 7s are 63, 6, right? 7 into 8, 56, 56, 6, 62, right? So 700, 7 2s are, what is the value? Right, how many times? 289. Divide the previous divisor 2040 by 289, 7 times, 7 9s are 63, 6, right, 7 8s are 56, 662, 6, 7 2s are 14 plus 6. So 10 minus 3, 7, 3 minus 2, 1, 17 is the remainder. Now divide the previous divisor 289 using this remainder 17. So 17 17s are 289, right. This is the procedure how to calculate the GCD of any two largest numbers, because here 42,822, 823 is the largest number. To find out the prime factorization of 42,823, it is difficult. So here we use the technique of division algorithm, and by using division algorithm, and Euclidean lemma. Right? What Euclidean lemma says? In the Euclidean lemma, every time we are dividing the dividend by its divisor, and the next step we have to divide the previous divisor using the current remainder. Finally, we get the remainder 0 because all the remainders are in decreasing sequence, right? So the last non-zero remainder gives us the GCD, right? So this is the last non-zero remainder, right? So what is the last non-zero remainder? 17. So by using Euclidean lemma, we can say that GCD of 42,823, 6,409, right, is equal to 17. Why? Because this is the zero remainder, the last non-zero remainder 17 is the, this is the GCD, right? GCD of given two numbers. Suppose if they ask, using division algorithm express these. What is the division algorithm technique? If A is the dividend, B is the remainder, Q is the quotient, and R is the remainder. Means that if we have two integers A and B, right? If we divide A by B, there exist unique integers Q and R such that A is equal to BQ plus R. This is the statement of division algorithm, right? So here what is the dividend? By division algorithm, we can write it as right. If they ask using division algorithm, we need to express like that. By division algorithm, 42,823 can be expressed as, this is A is equal to B into Q plus R. So 6409 into 6 plus a remainder. If you have any doubt, write it into, right? So A is equal to B into Q plus R. Again, 6,409 using the same concept is equal to 4,369 into, here quotient is 1, remainder is 2040. Again, using the third division and apply the same division algorithm, we can write it as 4,369 is equal to 2040 into 2 plus what is the remainder? 289. Next, using the same division algorithm for this fourth step, we can write it as 2040 is equal to 289 into 7 plus 17, right? So finally, this divisor dividend 289 can be written as 17 into 17 plus, in this case, what is the remainder? 0. Why we are saying this is the GCD? Last non-zero remainder. While doing the division, the last non-zero remainder is nothing but 17. So this is the way of expressing the division algorithm. Using division algorithm, all these are remainders are. So the last non-zero, this is the zero remainder. The last non-zero remainder is 17. Therefore, here also we can write it as GCD of 42,823 and 6,409 is equal to, what is the last non-zero remainder? 289. Right, next result, GCD of A comma B can be expressed as an integral combination of A and B, that is GCD of A comma B equal to, we can express the GCD value as linear combination of A and B, UA plus VB, where U and V are integers, right? Where U and V are integers. Next problem. Find GCD of 615 and 1080 and find integers U comma V such that GCD of 615 comma 1080 is equal to 615U plus 1080V, right? So here the result is any two numbers GCD can be expressed as UA plus VB, where U and V are integers, right? Now they ask find GCD of 615 and 1080 and also find the integers U comma V such that GCD of 615 comma 1080 equal to 615 into U. We need to find out this integer U and 1080 into V, right? So to calculate the GCD of any two numbers, we use the technique of division algorithm. Here in these two numbers, right, the larger number is 1080. So take this larger number as the dividend. So here we are doing the division, 1080 is the dividend and divisor is 615. Here one time, 615, 5, 6, it is 4, 465. Next we need to divide the previous divisor 615 using this remainder, right? Again one time, 465, 0, 11 minus 6, 5, 5 minus 4, 1. Again we need to divide previous divisors 465 using this remainder. It is 3 times 450, 6 minus 5, 1. Again we need to proceed like this until we are getting the remainder 0. Every time we need to divide the previous divisor using the remainder. So 150, 10 times 0, right? So what is the GCD of these two numbers? The last non-zero remainder is the GCD of these two numbers. This 15 is the GCD, right? So we can write therefore by division algorithm and, right, by division algorithm and Euclidean lemma, GCD of these two, we can write like this, 1080 comma 615 or 615 comma 1080. We can proceed in any way because order is not important. Here what is the GCD? 15, which is the last non-zero remainder, right? 15, last non-zero remainder. This is the procedure up to calculation of GCD of 615 and 1080. But in this sum they also ask find the integers u comma v such that GCD value can be expressed as the integral combination or linear combination of 615 into some integer plus 1080 into some integer. For this we use the concept of division algorithm. So by division algorithm, right? So what is the division algorithm? If A is the dividend, B is the divisor, R is the remainder and Q is the quotient, we can write A is equal to BQ plus R, right? So here this 1080 can be written as 615 into 1 plus remainder is 465. Like that, every step we need to express in the form of A is equal to BQ plus R. From the second step, we can write it as 615 is equal to 465 into 1 plus 150. From the third step, 465 is equal to 150 into 3 plus 15. From the last step, we can write it as 150 is equal to 15 into 10 plus the remainder is 0 in the last step. So the last non-zero remainder, this 15 is the GCD. Now, see here, using this last but one step, we can write from the above equations, right? So, using this step, we can write 15 is equal to, take this term to other side, it becomes 465 minus 150 into 3, right? So, 465 minus 3 into this 150. So, we need to proceed step by step above one. Using this step, 150 can be expressed as 615 minus, take this term other side, 465, right, which is equal to 465 minus 3 into 615 minus into minus plus 3 into 465. Observe this one. 465 one time, here 465 3 times. So total how much? 4 times 465 minus 3 times 615. Right? Once again go back this equation. In this equation remainder is 465. That 465 can be expressed as, this 465 is, take this term to other side, 1080 minus 615, 3 into 615, right? So, which is equal to 4 into 1080. Don't multiply these two values and don't write the resultant value. If we write like that, again you will get this 15. Our aim is we need to express this GCD 15 in terms of given two numbers 615 and 1080. So 4 into 615 minus 3 into 615, right? So which is equal to, here it is 4 times, it is 3 times, negative sign. So minus 7 into 615 plus 4 into 1080. Therefore, GCD of 615 comma 1080, that GCD value is 15. So, in this 15 can be expressed as GCD of these two is equal to, what about right side? 615 into minus 7 plus 1080 into 4. So now we express this GCD value as 615 into U plus 1080 into V. What about these two, U comma V? Therefore, we get there exists U is equal to minus 7 and V is equal to 4. We find those two integers, right? This is the way of expressing the GCD in terms of linear combination of U and V, right? So, integral combination or linear combination of A and B. Any two integers GCD can be expressed as like this, right? Already we discussed the previous result, which is whenever GCD of A comma B is equal to some D, that GCD value can be expressed as GCD of A comma B equal to UA plus VB, where U comma V are integers. This is a necessary and sufficient condition, means whenever GCD of A comma B is equal to 1, then there exist two integers U and V such that AU plus BV is equal to 1. Suppose if AU plus BV is equal to 1, here U and V both are integers, then GCD of A comma B equal to 1. Right? So here the first property of GCD is if C divides AB and GCD of A comma C equal to 1, then we need to prove that C divides B. Right? So let C divides AB and GCD of A comma C equal to 1. Using this note, whenever GCD value is equal to 1, there exist two integers U comma V such that AU plus CV is equal to 1. So, integral combination of A comma C is equal to GCD value, right? So, now multiplying B on both sides implies we get AUB plus CVB equal to B. Now, if we observe here C divides AB, right, we can write it as AB into U, because all these are integers. Integers satisfies associative and commutative property, right? So, plus CVB is equal to B. Clearly, since C divides AB, right, because C divides AB, here this first term ABU is the multiplier of AB. Because C divides AB, we have C divides ABU, right? Already we proved these results in the properties of divisors. Whenever A divides B, A also divides BC, where C not equal to 0. And clearly, C divides CVB. Why this C divides CVB means C divides C. Clearly C divides C. CVB is the product of C and VB, which is a multiplier of C. Therefore, C divides CVB. Implies C divides ABU plus CVB. Right? If A divides B and A divides C, then A divides B plus C and A divides B minus C. So, C divides ABU plus CVB. What is this value? ABU plus CVB is nothing but B. So, implies C divides B. This completes our proof. We get C divides B. Now see, if GCD of AB is equal to 1 and GCD of A comma C equal to 1, our intention is we need to prove that GCD of A comma BC equal to 1. Otherwise, if A comma B are co-prime numbers, when do we say that two numbers are co-prime? Their GCD is equal to 1. And A comma C are co-prime, then A comma BC are co-prime. Now we see the proof. Using this note, if GCD of AB is equal to 1, using this note, we get there exist two integers u1 comma v1, right, such that a u1 plus b v1 is equal to GCD value 1. Let it be equation 1. Now, using the second one, here also GCD value is 1. So, we can write again there exist two integers u2 comma v2 such that a u2 plus b v2 is equal to 1. This is 2. Now, multiply equations 1 and 2. So, what is one LHS side? A u1 plus b v1. 2 LHS side is a u2 plus b v2, which is equal to RHS side 1 into 1 is 1. Now, multiply LHS side term by term, we get a square u1 u2. This term into second term, AB u1 v2, second into first term, again AB v1 u2, second one into second one, v1 v2 b square is equal to 1, right? Now we can write it as a square u1 u2, this is AB u1 v2, AB v1 u2 plus v1 v2 into b square. We can write it as a square into u1 u2 plus, taking common b from this one, a u1 v2 plus a v1 u2 plus v1 v2 b into b is equal to 1, right? So, now we multiply it by c. Here if you observe GCD of a comma c equal to 1, here we need to write a u2 plus c v2 is equal to 1. Make this correction because a comma c GCD is 1. While we take two integers u2 v2, a u2 plus c v2 is equal to 1. So this is c v2. Multiplying these two, first term into first term into second term, it becomes AC into u1 v2. Here also b into c is equal to 1, right? Right, a u1, a square u1 u2, AC u1 v2 plus AB into v1 u2 plus BC into v1 v2. Now, from these three terms, we can write it as a u1 u2 plus c u1 v2 plus b v1 u2 by taking common a from the first three terms. From the last term, we can express this as v1 v2 into bc equal to 1, right? So the first one, we can write it as U3A plus V3BC is equal to 1, where what is U3? Where U3 is the first bracket inside term, A U1 U2 plus C U1 V2 plus B V1 U2, right? And V3 is V1 V2, right? So if you observe this note, whenever AU plus BV is equal to 1 and U comma V are integers, then GCD of A comma B is equal to 1, right? Here also we get two integers U3, V3. Why these are integers means A, U1, U2, all these combinations are integers. Either product of two integers or sum of two integers is an integer. Therefore, both U3, V3 are integers. So, here GCD of sum U3 into A plus V3 into BC is equal to 1. Using this note implies there exist two integers U3, V3 such that GCD of A, BC is equal to 1. So here if you observe here, whenever A, B are co-prime and also A, C are co-prime, then A, BC are also co-prime, right? With this we get GCD of A, BC is equal to 1. With this the result completed. At next property 5, if GCD of A, B is equal to 1, then for any integer C, GCD of AC, B is equal to GCD of C, B, right? So, assume that GCD of A, B is equal to 1, right? Using the previous note, right? Before property 1, we wrote one note. Using that note, there exist two integers U, B such that integral combination of A and B, that is UA plus VB is equal to 1. So, let us assume that GCD of AC, B is equal to D. We assume this part is equal to D. Implies there exist two integers. But here we take U1, V1. Here we consider U2, V2 such that U2 into AC plus V2 into B equal to D, right? So, U1A plus V1B is equal to 1. Already we have this one. Let it be equation 1. U2AC plus V2B is equal to D, which is equation 2. Multiplying equations 1 and 2, right? So, what is one LHS side? One LHS side is U1A plus V1B. Two LHS is U2AC plus V2B is equal to 1 RHS is 1, 2 RHS is D. So, multiply these two LHS side term by term, we get U1 u2 a square c plus u1 b2 ab plus u2 v1 abc, second term into second term, v1 v2 b square, RHS side is 1 into d is d. So from these three terms, we are taking common b. So from the last three terms, we took common b. From the first term, we can write it as u1 u2 c into, that means a square into c, right? So now we consider from the first term we took common c. So we can write this as some u3c plus v3d is equal to, so v3 into b is equal to d, where u3 is equal to, what is u3? The first term, u1 u2 a square. v3 is, the next term lies inside the brackets, u1 v2 a plus u2 v1 ac plus v1 v2 b, right? So the term inside these brackets, we take it as some v3. So what about these u3 v3, whether these two are integers or not? Here if you observe, u1 u2 both are integers and a also integers. So product is an integer, u3 is an integer. There exist two integers, u3, comma. What about the other one? Here also if you observe the combination of u1, u2, v1, v2, a, b, c, all are integers. So product of integers and sum of integers is an integer, u3 comma v3, such that u3c plus v3b is equal to d, right? So implies, whenever we get like that, this is the integral combination of c and b, right? So implies that GCD of c comma b is equal to, what is RHS? D. So with this proof completed, whenever GCD of AB is equal to 1, for any integer c, we have GCD of AC comma b is equal to GCD of c comma b. Next note, if A1, A2 and so on an, all these are integers, are relatively prime to integer b. What is the meaning of relatively prime? So if we consider the GCD of A1 comma b is 1, so the GCD of b and any integer of a which is equal to 1, then their product, so product of A1, A2 and so on an, so then their product is also prime to b, right? So next definition is least common multiple. So you know how to find out the least common multiple, you studied in the lower classes. By using the factorization method, that is the simple method. If a number is a very large number, how can we calculate the least common multiple? We will see in the next class. First we see the definition of LCM. Let A comma B be any two non-zero integers. That means these two are integers but not equal to 0, non-zero integers. An integer m is said to be LCM of A comma B if the first condition is m is a common multiple of both A and B. When do we say that common multiple of A comma B? That is, A divides M and B divides M. Otherwise, we can say that M is equal to some K1 into A, right? K1 into A. So, we can say that A is divisor of M, otherwise M is a multiple of both A and B. Second condition is M must be least of all common multiples of A and B. What is the meaning of this one? Among all common multiples, M must be least one. So, the meaning of this one, if C is, suppose if C is any common multiple of A and B, right? So, M is any other common multiple of A and B. Then what is the relation between C and M? Because C is the any common multiple and M is the least of all common multiples. Then, because M is the least, M divides C, right? The meaning of this is, if C is any common multiple of A and B, here it is not visible, so continuation of this one, any common multiple of A and B, then M divides C, right? This is the definition of LCM of A comma B. Here if you see, note, right? If A comma B are either negative, either both, or are 1, or are none. That means no one is negative. If both are negative or one is negative or none is negative, means both A and B are positive, then its LCM is always positive, right? Always positive. If you see one example, LCM of 8 comma 18 is same as LCM of minus 8 comma 18 is same as LCM of minus 8 comma minus 18, right? So the meaning of this note is, if both are positive, otherwise both are negative, or one is negative, one is positive, Otherwise, both are positive. LCM of all these three are same. Right? With this, the concept of GCD and definition of LCM completed. Next, we will see the relation between GCD and LCM, which is GCD of A comma B into LCM of A comma B is product of A and B. So whenever we multiply GCD and LCM, it is nothing but product of those two numbers.